My name is Richard Miskovich, and at the symposium this year I'm teaching Good Bread is Good for You, and I'm also working with Tom Gumpel and Dennis Barker. What we worked on in this workshop was sprouted grains and talking about the nutritional benefits of that. It was largely a bread baking class. We sprouted some grain, we used some sprouted wheat flour from local millers, and we went through really a comparison process of using sprouted flour versus non-sprouted flour to see how they both fermented differently and then ultimately how they'll taste. So sprouted grains are really interesting right now. They're become much more popular. We're seeing it even in mainstream food, and people are learning more about this type of product. It fits in perfectly with the future of bread because we're realizing that sprouting these grains lends much more nutrition to the food that we can eat, and that we're educating bakers and pastry chefs on how to incorporate that and also relay those benefits to the consumer. So we made several different types of leavened breads, focusing primarily on sourdough or naturally leavened breads. We also made a couple of one-yeasted bread, and we did the whole bread baking process so that all the students could have some hands-on. There were people who were very knowledgeable about bread baking, some who were more new to it, so we talked about the process within the context of using sprouted grain products. One of the special things about this workshop is we have a lot of people in the audience who have a lot of experience in not only food science and nutrition. So although there are leaders of the workshop, it really becomes a discussion, and that's what we want to establish, is that people bring their knowledge and contribute that, and it bore out. We had a lot of good discussions with people's knowledge, their perceptions, and then of course people asking questions who weren't as knowledgeable about it, which just spurred further discussion. So this was an important class because it not only reinforced quality baking, but talking about how we can take it further. And it's interesting because we often think bread is a centuries-old craft, and it is, and how much more new stuff could there be. But in treating grain this way, by soaking it, germinating it, we're able to look forward and see how the food that we continue to make into the future can be more nutritious, so that we don't necessarily have to make more food, we just need to have the food that we're eating be more effective for people's health.